We are currently in week 4 of the season, which means we just finished the best trials week that we have had in a long time, despite the god-awful air effectiveness changes that Bungie made this season, making it seem like it would be one of the worst weeks. They removed the flawless pool, which managed to counteract that, so we at least had a small revision of one of the worst ideas that Bungie has made for PvP in the past year. Hopefully, by the time that the flawless pool is accidentally turned off again, you should be able to get one of the most highly sought after weapons for PvP that was just recently introduced this season. Or I guess reintroduced, since it was already introduced in the game over 2 years ago, and you've probably already gotten a god roll once. Now you just have to grind public events and patrols for about 5 days straight maybe, and then you can get those same rolls that you got before again. You're probably ecstatic to do this, and you cannot wait to spend all of your free time playing a video game, mindlessly doing the most boring activities in said video game over and over again until you just don't want to play the game anymore. So, to try and minimize that, I'm going to show you guys the true, most efficient way to actually get all 5 red border weapons. So as to not hold any of you guys hostage, I'm going to put this little checklist right here. This is a very simplified version of what's in the rest of the video. If you don't actually need an explanation on why these steps are important or why to do them in this order, then you can just click off of the video now and you should be fine. Step 1 is very simple. You're just going to be upgrading your Crown of Sorrow. In order to do this, you probably want to go stop by the helm first thing, grab as many daily and repeatable bounties as you can, and then make sure to go to the Leviathan and start doing the public event. While doing the public event, make sure that you are doing patrols and collecting the egregore while you're on there, so that you can get the most rep out of your trip, and do not forget to check what you need to do for your bounties so that you're passively doing those while working on all the other stuff. There are 5 upgrades that you are going to want to spec into, and I'm going to put them in order of how necessary they are, I suppose. And hopefully you guys find this helpful, because this is what I was using, and I got 5 red borders for each one of the opulent weapons that I needed relatively fast once I had all of these upgrades. Once you have your crown upgraded to the point where you can actually focus opulent weapons, the second step is doing the containment public event for umbral energy. While you're doing this, make sure that you also run patrols during the event so that you have a chance at getting an extra umbral engram that you can focus, as they do occasionally drop umbral engrams upon completion. You also want to make sure that you run the chest route so that you can get the maximum amount of chances at an opulent key per event. Once you get the opulent key, now step 3 can follow step 1 or step 2, it just depends on whether you have a key or not. But if you do have a key, the next step is to go and claim that chest that the key belongs to, and then check the surrounding areas as I'm showing right here for the mini bosses that'll show up. You can check your radar to see if they're actually in these areas. They're pretty quick fights, just make sure to actually use the unstable essences so that you can melt them much quicker. But the chest that they drop can drop another opulent key as well as umbral energy if you have that upgrade. Step 4 is to do the public event until you have 3 to 5 bound presences. You get this by spending the 500 vestiges at the end of each containment event, but it is a rarer drop, so it's not going to be guaranteed every time. So basically, just run the public event. If you get keys by running the chest route, go open those chests so that you can have a chance at getting a red border from that, as well as some opulent umbral energy so you can focus more engrams later on when you get back to the helm. And then just keep going until you get more stacks of bound presents. As I was finishing up editing this video, one of my friends brought a Reddit post to my attention that basically explains an easy way to get 5 stacks of bound presents, and it just requires you not finishing the Sever mission for this week on at least one of your characters, and you're going to want to make sure that your consumables inventory is completely full, mostly with raid banners, so that you can have your bound presences go to your postmaster. And since they're just going to your postmaster, you can just keep doing it and it'll guaranteed give you one up until you have a stack of 5, as it doesn't overflow. And if you want a better explanation on how it works, there is a link to the post in the description down below. Step 5 is to do the Sever mission once you have accumulated your present stacks, and then open the chest at the end. This will give you extra umbral energy, and it's super helpful for just doing massive batches of umbral engrams. Step 6, it's just focusing your engrams. However, do not focus them into specific weapons unless you have the focusing deep sight unlock. It is in the second to last column, so this may take you a while to get to that point. However, by then, who knows, you may only need one more red border of a specific type, and so this may actually be something that you need to do. The 27 Opulent energy is a bit of a pain in the ass to actually get, so I would just recommend going for the basic one, as it seems to have a higher chance anyway, especially if you're looking at it in terms of how many red borders you'll get per Opulent umbral energy. It's so much better to just do the general pool. I don't think Bungie should try and make weapons that are craftable this difficult to obtain again. At the start of the season, if there's a new weapon out that's going to actually perform very well and it's craftable, you're probably going to want to try and craft one just to try it out, at least see how you like it. That was definitely how I felt about Austringer. I didn't play very much PvP at all until I got this, with the exception of going for Iron Lord. But in the end, I don't feel like the amount of time I spent was really worth it for the crafting. Austringer is a great hand cannon. It's not that I'm not going to use it. It's probably going to be my new main 140. But this was still an absolutely ridiculous amount of grinding we had to do. No one should have to sit through that. And no, we shouldn't have to wait until it's easier to upgrade the helmet. If you want the loot in the game, you shouldn't really be punished for trying to go after it. Now that you have your 5 out of 5 red border weapons, you have gotten to the best part. Farming Shurochi until you can get actually usable perks on it. It's great, dude. It's so awesome. I love that weapon crafting is like this and that you don't get usable perks until the highest level for upgrades. It's so much fun. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any thoughts or any suggestions or whatever down in the comments below, or if you guys just found this helpful, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm rambling, so I'm just going to end it.